Syrian human rights charity has obtained hundreds of death certificates for people who are being held in Syrian jails. According to the Reuters news agency, the Syrian Network for Human Rights has notified family members who, up until this point, had no idea about what had happened to their loved ones. Children, including a girl as young as 3 years old, were among the victims. None of the certificates give the cause of death. Well, earlier we spoke to Syrian journalist Ahmad Baderkhan, and I began by asking him why the victims' families had never been notified.
Of course, it's clear in Syria, and specifically in the Syrian regime, that there are thousands of people who have been in the prison for many reasons, and specifically after the Syrian events started here, many people been arrested, and till now, their families or their relatives, they have no idea if they're still alive or dead in these prisons. Of course, anyone knows that how is the situation, or how is the situation inside these prisons. But the thing that no one can know what is going on inside, and specifically, it's not only adult or men, also children have been arrested by the Syrian government, and this is mostly, it was in 2013, 14, 15, and now, even till now. But it's not like when the Syrian demonstrations or the Syrian events started. The thing that sometimes that some let's say officers of the Syrian regime, they leave the Syrian government or the Syrian army to abroad of Syria, and then they started to show the documents or show the pictures that they have.
Well, the death certificates do not include the cause of death. Highly distressing for the victims' families. Ahmad told us what he knew about how many Syrian prisoners die.
Usually, like, the people die inside the prisons by torturing or by killing them, of course, because recently I've met a person who was inside the prisons of the regime, and of course some people managed to get out by paying a lot of money to some officers, and this is clear in the Syrian regime that he can get out by this. And he told me, this witness, he told me that people die because of the psychology, because of their hungry, because there is no food, because there's for example, now it's winter, because of the weather. Maybe it's not because also of using the weapons against them or killing them by weapons. So for this, of course, it's not clear because it's hard to get the details or the information from the people inside. Maybe some officer, they can just give the information that they are dead, but with no more details to their relatives. And of course, there are still a lot of people, their families, they still don't know if they're still alive or dead inside these prisons.
And finally, I asked Ahmad how many more were being held in Syrian jails and how many had died without the family's knowledge.
For sure, no one has the right numbers of the prisoners, but of course, it could be hundreds of thousands of people inside this prison, and they're still, of course, in the prisons, and still no information if they're still alive or not. Of course, recently the Syrian regime, after everyone saw after the video of murdering the people and burning them, after this video being published in Damascus countryside, the regime, they started to release some prisoners from the prison, but was really a few number of them, because of course still thousands and hundreds of thousands of people sit inside for many reasons, politics, of course, many reasons, but most of them it's because of the political reason.